patience is a virtue. And there's a Yoruba saying that says, Sùúrù kì í pọ̀jù àfi tí ó bá ní tó. Meaning, patience is never too much. It would rather not be enough. So something happened to me yesterday. I was going to make eba for myself, and then the water was already boiling. It was already showing that it was boiled, but I knew in me that it was not boiled enough for me to make eba. But I still proceeded to go and make it because I could not wait. So then, by the time the eba will be done, it was just almost like I poured gari inside cold water, and that was the consistency it was giving. If I had even told someone that I used hot water, they would have denied it because it was not giving hot water like consistent. So meaning the fact that I boiled the water initially didn't matter. Immediately that scenario, I remember the story of Paul and the story of Saul and Samuel in the Bible. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 8, after Samuel have anointed Saul as king, then he gave him some certain instructions. And one of the instructions, which was in verse 8, was that he should go ahead of him to Gilgal and wait for him for 7 days. Then he will come and offer burnt offering and peace offering. And then after that, he's going to tell him what next to. And then in chapter 13 of that same book, verse 8, King Saul actually obeyed and he waited for 7 days. But he did not wait enough because his men were scattering. On that 7th day, he just went ahead because he waited for Samuel, and Samuel has not yet arrived on that 7th day. He just went ahead to go and offer the burnt offering and the peace sacrifice himself. And the Bible recorded that immediately after he offered the burnt offerings, Samuel showed up. And in my head, I'm like, what if he had just waited one more hour, or even waited till the end of that 7th day? Because that 7th day has clearly not come to an end. But he didn't wait. He was not patient enough to wait because of what his men and every other person was saying. And then Samuel told him, I would like to read from that verse 11. This is 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 11. Samuel said, "What have you done?" And Saul said, "When I saw that the people were scattering from me, and that he did not come within the days appointed, and that the Philistine had mustered at Michmash, I said, now the Philistine will come down upon me at Gilgal, and I have not entered the favor of the Lord. So I forced myself and offered the burnt offering." And verse 13 says, "And Samuel said to Saul, you have done foolishly. You have not kept the commandment of the Lord your God, which he commanded you. For now, the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever." Verse 14 now says, "But now your kingdom shall not continue." Other people that were like sort of like pressuring him to offer the sacrifice, they are not going to be bearing the consequence. He's going to be bearing the consequence. Is a fruit of the spirit, and it is a virtue that every believer must possess.